Welcome to Almost Here, Round the Corner Future Technology podcasts with Richard Jacobs. Future technologies poised to transform our lives for better or worse are the focus of this podcast. Almost here means these technologies are now here and starting to be used, or just around the corner, from Bitcoin to artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.
Coming to Dallas, Texas, September 14th, 15th, and 16th, 2018, the Blockchain and Future Tech Expo. This is going to be a gigantic conference of over 5,000 people. We're going to be talking about blockchain and its applications. We're going to be talking about quantum computing, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and several other future technologies that are poised to and actually changing our lives as we speak. Here's why you should attend. As you may know, early adopters are the ones that investigated and profited from things like the gold rush in the 1800s, from the dot-com boom in the 1990s, from the internet boom in 2005, from the smartphone explosion in 2007, from the real estate boom that ended in 2008, and of course, from the Bitcoin boom that started in 2012. Early adopters act now. They don't wait till later. They go out west first. In their covered wagons, they find the biggest gold nuggets. If you consider yourself an early adopter and you want to find the biggest nuggets, then you owe it to yourself to attend this upcoming conference. Blockchain is going to affect how we control and store our medical data, how we send money around the world, how we bank, and more. But artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and cybersecurity will play a pivotal role in our lives as well. And that's why our next event, September 14th to the 16th at the Dallas Convention Center, is going to have not only 5,000 plus attendees, but will showcase blockchain, AI, cybersecurity, quantum computing, and more. You want to get in on the coming gold rush of future tech and opportunity as an early adopter. Don't be left out. To register, go to bftexpo.com. That's blockchainfuturetechexpo.com. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to the Future Tech Podcast. I'm Alan Thomas, and today I'm joined by Chao Han, Head of R&D at Lucidworks. How you doing?
Hi, Alan. How are you? I'm doing great. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, no problem. So let's get right into it. What is Lucidworks, and what do you guys do?
So Lucidworks is an enterprise search engine company. So we deliver AI-powered enterprise search to Fortune 2000 companies, both on-premise and in the cloud. Give you some example of what kind of search we do. So examples of search applications including search the corporate intranet and product search from an e-commerce website, or general information search such as search on Reddit. Our platform allows companies to incorporate intelligent search features such as product recommendations, spell check, auto suggestions, query writing directly into their applications without having to build their own system from scratch, and enable them to better compete with the likes of Amazon or Google, but in their own application.
Oh, okay. And what would you say is the ultimate goal of the company?
So since we focus on machine learning features in last few years and enabled many natural language processing capabilities, so actually our applications are not just limited to search. For example, we have a whole suite of e-discovery algorithms such as automatic document clustering, anomaly detection, topic trend analysis, synonym discovery. So all of these can serve the needs beyond search department of a company. So our ultimate goal is to solve the last mile problem in AI, which is to make the complex data science available to end users directly without requiring the user to have any background in data science.
Okay, and what exactly drew you to this field? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and your studies. How'd you get to be the head of R&D at Lucidworks?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a data scientist with over 10 years of analytical experience in both academia and industry. So a little bit background, I got a PhD in statistics back in 2012. And after graduation, I worked at JP Morgan Chase R&D department, supporting all kinds of projects across different line of business. For example, help with the transaction text mining, the social media sentiment analysis, fraud detection, default prediction, and some marketing projects. And after JP Morgan Chase, I joined SAS, that's the Cisco software company, to help develop a new platform called SAS Implementation Platform, which is basically a in-memory analytic engine that enables faster model implementation in a gradient network. And currently, I lead the R&D team at Lucidworks to help build the Fusion AI functionalities, as I mentioned, that enable recommender, query analytics, NLP, and then currently building the question answering system. So the goal is to help the company, to help our customers with a better search experience utilizing AI.
And so can you tell us a little bit more about some of the platforms or products that have come out of Lucidworks?
Sure. So our flagship product is called Fusion. Fusion basically combines AI analytics using Apache Solr and Apache Spark. The key differentiator of Fusion to other vendors is that, from my point of view, is that we're making an end-to-end solution from data capturing to the end of until the end to do the result interpretation. For example, we automatically capture the user online behavior, such as search, click on certain products, add to carts, and purchase. And those information are directly ingested and stored in Fusion. And in the backend, we can set up the Spark machine learning runs to run machine learning models such as recommender, learning to rank, query intent classification, and at last present the results in our UI dashboard or directly connect to a pipeline to help improve the search relevancy at query time. So if you download Fusion at lucidworks.com download, you can give it a try. And I think you will feel like the whole process is very streamlined and easy to set up, so which makes the AI more operational, and then you can see big impact in a very short time frame.
So basically, if you give enough information up front, you're saying it runs in a pretty smooth way, or it runs pretty smoothly.
Yeah. Okay,
and is this is Fusion the main project that you've been working on since you've been in R&D, since you've been head of R&D?
Yeah, so the Fusion AI is the flagship product, and then we're adding more analytical algorithm inside it, so that it can extend to other departments. For example, do automatically data exploration, build deep learning models, and then do image search or question answering system. Basically, toward more advanced capabilities and to enable people use all kinds of applications using AI.
And so let's talk about Fusion a little. What's some of the top benefits that you see for the users? When they go in and they get it set up and they use it.
So some feedback from our users, for example, you can see direct impact on the search revenue. For example, on the e-commerce side, we have customers such as Lucene, Staples, Honeywell, and then Lucene actually saw a 50 to 60% increase in conversion just from turning on Fusion. Within a very short period of time, we help them get such lift. And then another big benefit is the Fusion's capability to handle very big data sets. For example, Dell, they need to index over 3 billion email documents with thousands of users. And we not only reduce their number of servers by a factor of 6, but also reduce the deployment time from 3 to 4 hours to just 5 minutes per node. Also, migration to Fusion usually takes less than 90 days, even for very complicated IT infrastructure. And then we have do a lot of GSA replacement and replace other traditional platforms.
So I know you said it usually takes about a 90-day implementation, even for large groups or large organizations.
Yeah, up to 90 days.
Okay. So and I was going to ask, how were you guys able to get it down to that point? I mean, was it a lot of testing, a lot of trial and error to kind of get it down to where you can get it kind of up and running that quickly?
Again, that's because we already do a lot of the building functionalities and then stitch all the data together very easily. So, for example, usually in a company, it's not rare to see it takes several months or even years to implement any machine learning model in production throughout the whole firm, right? So, but in Fusion, since everything is built in, the data is within Fusion, and then the Spark is connected to Solr directly, and then we have those configurations very easy to set up and tailor to the search experience. So you can just very easily turn on the implementation without developing all the pieces from scratch.
Are there any past projects that you guys have worked on that kind of come to mind that really stand out to you that you're really proud of having finished?
You mean I personally or after joining Lucidworks?
Actually, I meant after joining Lucidworks. But if you have some from before Lucidworks, then that's fine too.
So before Lucidworks, for example, at Chase, I have initiated and lead the robot modeler project. So it's a project basically do automatic model building, can reduce the predict modeling time from months to days. And on the type mining part, help develop some string comparison algorithm for transaction data mining. And then these items have been put into production for firm-wide use. On the sentiment analysis side, did some research for text data from customer surveys, social media, and account memo. And on the predict modeling part, a project I'm very proud of is I help build a tier 1 model to help Chase automatically detect the check fraud activities. And this model results in $80 million annual savings for the bank. Some other interesting project before, when I work at AT&T Labs as an intern, have help analysis of large-scale cell phone network data to help with the public transportation planning. So basically, I'm very lucky working with all kinds of data, no matter it's text or numeric, it's predictive or descriptive. It's both on the unsupervised and supervised projects. And then I look forward to bring more of the past knowledge into Fusion to enable more functionalities in the future.
And so I know you have a lot of big ideas that you guys work with over there, and does anything ever come to mind where maybe somebody had an idea and you kind of had to tell them, well, maybe that's not something we can get done this year, but something that might be 2 or 3 years out because maybe the technology just isn't ready to do that particular thing yet?
So I think that can be on the deep learning side. So currently we are doing some deep learning focused research now. For example, we compare the deep learning model with traditional methods on some NLP tasks such as name entity recognition, the deep learning driven sentiment analysis and QA system or image search. And the goal here is eventually we want to provide solutions to both customers that have or don't have the GPU in their IT infrastructure. And then I have to say for deep learning, the progress in the deep learning community is pretty fast. You can see there's new model architecture come out every month. And then a graduate student can easily build a deep learning model that can be state-of-the-art, which was traditionally built by a big team. But I have to admit that since we on the knowledge side, we're still lacking the knowledge of underlying mathematics of why and how deep learning works so well. So currently in the community, you can see people use different tricks together to prevent overfitting and have to burn a lot of GPU powers to build model from scratch. And those are the factors that actually make deep learning in production and large-scale usage very hard. So, but I look forward to see more progress on understanding the deep learning side and then have more efficient modeling method come out. And I think in the near future, deep learning may dominate some of the areas and then make production easier. Then by then we can fully utilize this functionality.
Okay. And what do you think the roadmap looks like for Lucidworks over the next couple of years? Like, what kind of projects are you guys working on? What should we expect to see?
So on the roadmap side, since my team is mainly focused on AI. On AI side, more automated, like a chatbot or question answering system. That's one big project we're working on now, and then we will make it better throughout the years. And also on the image search side, that's the current trend. Is that basically people upload an image and can try to find similar images. And on the NLP side, we will build a whole suite of NLP functionalities to make people, the team don't need to spend a lot of time to manually build an ontology by themselves. And we will also provide the knowledge base, like semantic knowledge graph, and then to help people enter the contextual meaning of the text and automatically extract those informations for you. So those are all big directions we want to go. And again, we want to expand those applications outside the search department so that all the rest of the department, as long as they have text-related problem, we can help them solve the problem.
Okay, and just one more question: how have you, or how have you personally seen big data and AI kind of change over the years that you've been working?
So a few big changes. One is like I see throughout the industry, people gradually shape the analytic tool from traditional tools such as SAS and SPSS into open source tools. I think partially due to the healthy growth of the open source community. For example, the Python community, deep learning, TensorFlow community, also the Spark community. So those are the tools like more and more company are adapting. Also the capability to handle big data. You can see the shift here from traditional Hadoop and Java-based development environment, shift from that to Spark environment. Before, you have to know Java and then code it in Hadoop system to make analytic to make it possible to analyze big data. Now you can know either Scala or also Java is possible, Scala, Java, or Python or R, and then you can just run this language combined with Spark, and can get analytical results on millions or even billions of data within minutes. Also, the Spark make in-memory computation pretty easy, which means you can run machine learning models pretty fast now. Also, for example, if you're using Solr, then we are improving the sharding and cluster distribution functionalities to make the computation more fast and the system more stable. Also, you can see on the GPU side, because of GPU, the matrix multiplication becomes much faster. That means the deep learning is kind of growing fast too, based on all these new developments.
Okay, and what's the best way for our listeners to get in touch with Lucidworks if they want to find out more about the company and the projects that you guys work on?
You can go to www.lucidworks.com, and then also we have a YouTube channel. You can just search for Lucidworks. We have successful stories, our customer leave feedbacks on the YouTube channel, and then we also have tutorials, different machine learning capabilities, and basic capabilities we have on the YouTube channel. And every year we host a big conference called Revolution. And this year we changed the conference theme, expanding the theme from just from only search to search plus AI. And it will be in Montreal in October this year. So you can join that conference. It's a great conference.
Okay. Well, we want to thank you, Chao, for coming on to the podcast and giving us all this great information. And just we thank you for your time.
Thanks. Glad to join you.
Coming to Dallas, Texas, September 14th, 15th, and 16th, 2018, the Blockchain and Future Tech Expo. This is going to be a gigantic conference of over 5,000 people. We're going to be talking about blockchain and its applications. We're going to be talking about quantum computing, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and several other future technologies that are poised to and actually changing our lives as we speak. Here's why you should attend. As you may know, early adopters are the ones that investigated and profited from things like the gold rush in the 1800s, from the dot-com boom in the 1990s, from the internet boom in 2005, from the smartphone explosion in 2007, from the real estate boom that ended in 2008, and of course, from the Bitcoin boom that started in 2012. Early adopters act now. They don't wait till later. They go out west first. In their covered wagons, they find the biggest gold nuggets. If you consider yourself an early adopter and you want to find the biggest nuggets, then you owe it to yourself to attend this upcoming conference. Blockchain is going to affect how we control and store our medical data, how we send money around the world, how we bank, and more. But artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and cybersecurity will play a pivotal role in our lives as well. And that's why our next event, September 14th to the 16th at the Dallas Convention Center, is going to have not only 5,000 plus attendees, but will showcase blockchain, AI, cybersecurity, quantum computing, and more. You want to get in on the coming gold rush of future tech and opportunity as an early adopter. Don't be left out. To register, go to bftexpo.com. That's blockchainfuturetechexpo.com. Thank you.
You have been listening to Almost Here, Around the Corner Future Technology podcast with Richard Jacobs. Subscribe to this podcast, post a review to discover more future technologies that are poised to transform our lives for better or worse, such as Bitcoin, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.